Hey guys, how's it going? Film Talkers here, and today I'm going to be putting all the Friday the 13th films in tiers. Now, I am a huge fan of the Friday the 13th franchise. I own probably the rarest Friday the 13th box set, which is, I've been rewatching these actually, but I've owned all 12 films on Blu-ray, and I just love the franchise so much. So keep in mind, these are strictly my opinion. I'm going over how I enjoyed each Friday the 13th film. Your favorites may be in the low tier, your least favorites probably be in high tier. So let's get started with Freddy versus Jason. This to me had a lot of promise. The only reason it's not total garbage. It is a fine movie. I do like the Jason and Freddy fight scenes in it. They're really memorable kills in the movie. It's very over the top, especially coming from the director of Face Off, which is he's a very over the top director. But this director has never seen a Freddy or a Jason film. But while not seeing any of those films, he did get certain aspects right about the characters. The thing to me that makes this movie so crappy, well, not as crappy as it could be, the most crappy elements are the characters and the story and how less frequently the fight scenes are between Freddy and Jason. To me, they're not long enough, and there needs to be a little bit more of Freddy versus Jason. Because once they're fighting on screen and they're like face to face, it's really cool moments. And I do like the fact they do try to portray Jason as the hero, but I don't know, just for some reason, it just doesn't seem right. But it's an okay watch. I don't mind watching it. Next up, we got Friday the 13th, 2009. Unpopular opinion. I love this film. I think the director of this movie really understood what made Friday the 13th Friday the 13th. It wasn't trying to be an Oscar winning film, it was trying to harken back to the good old days of the franchise where it was just about nudity, sex, blood, and gore, stupid teenagers. That is harkening back to that. I think they did a fantastic job going back to what made the franchise what it is. And I think the directors did a beautiful job doing that. I know a lot of people have problems with the movies, but the movie, I honestly think it's one of the best. I love the remake. Friday the 13th Part 2. I'm gonna put this in C tier because this is not one I always go back to rewatch. Part 2 it's fine. I wouldn't say it's good, great, or awesome. It's fine. It's serviceable. It's a film I can watch here and there, but you won't see me going back to it over and over again. The kills they range from good to okay. The most memorable kill being the wheelchair kill, where the kid takes a machete to the face, which we all know that kill is fucking memorable. We all know that kill is fucking legendary. But other than that, Jason is a little bitch in this film. I mean, if you watch the movie now, he gets his fucking ass handed to him most of the third act. He's not intimidating. I mean, for Christ's sakes, he runs away from a fucking chainsaw. I mean, again, at this point, he's not undead yet, but even still, in part three, he was human. Part four, he was human, and he didn't give a fuck. This Jason's like, oh, please don't hurt me. He gets his ass kicked with a chair. A fucking chair. And I've just never been a big fan of Sackhead Jason, but what saves this is the counselors in this movie are really good. I do like the counselors in part two. And the story ain't half bad. And of course, one of the most iconic kills is in this movie. So yeah, that's what keeps it from D tier. Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D. I'm putting this in B tier. It's a good Friday film. It does have some of the best kills. It has one of the best kills. I don't consider the kill of, well, there's two good kills. The harpoon and the guy being split in half. Other than that, the kills are really focused on the 3D aspects. They went really overboard with the 3D. Even though the 3D is okay in this film, I feel like they wasted a lot of time with trying to get this film to be like, oh, it's in your face, 3D type shit. I don't mind going back to rewatch this. I rewatch it more than Freddy vs. Jason in Part 2. And the Jason in this is badass, but what I hate is 99% of the counselors. I do love Kevin, the hippie. I don't mind Kevin. Kevin's fucking awesome. The final girl's alright in this movie. And and the third act's kind of cool. But there's a lot of issues coming from. It has decent kills for a franchise like this. They're mainly focused on how good the kills can be, and the story is met. And I don't mind the addition of the biker gang, but I don't know. It's they how they put them in the movie is weird. I'll be honest, because I'm tired of shit. But this is the movie where they introduced the hockey mask. If it wasn't for that, and it wasn't for the cool ass Jason and the two memorable kills, it would go in C tier. But as it stands, it's a B tier Friday film. I do enjoy a good bit of it, just not enough to put in A or S tier. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. This is what everyone considers their favorite Friday film, and it's one of mine. Memorable fucking kills, a great fucking Jason, fantastic story with a fantastic family and a fantastic teenagers. They were all done a really good job. And come on, Crispin Glover's dance. Come on, I mean that shit has been helmed to be legendary status, guys. Come on, that's a legendary dance. I only dreamed to dance like that one day. But the third act in this movie is what makes this movie fucking great. This was meant to be Jason's final film, but no, didn't turn out like that. Um, as it stands, it's still one of my favorites. It's not my favorite. We'll get to that here in a bit, but it's definitely my second favorite. It's right above the remake, but Part 4 is definitely one of my favorites. Just a badass Friday film. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. Yeah, no, fuck this movie. I hate this movie. No good kills, except for, Dancing Girl and Hedge Clippers, but that was only because, A, they showed tits. But this movie was directed by a porno director, and it really fucking shows. They really wanted to focus more on the nudity than they did the fucking kills and the story really is lacking. Spoiler alerts if you've never seen Part 5 of this movie, it's not Jason. It's a paramedic by the name of Roy Burns who saw his son's dead body after being massacred by one of the people that he was staying with over a chocolate bar. Yes, over a fucking chocolate bar. So Roy dresses up as Jason, but we don't find out until the end of the movie, and he starts massacring kids. Instead of just trying to get the one that killed him, he kills the people that had nothing to do with it. Makes total fucking sense. This is, to me, my least favorite Friday film. I absolutely fucking hate Part 5. It's the one that I always want to skip over when I do a Friday 13th marathon, but I can't because it is part of the franchise, and I just can't skip over it. But I hate every goddamn second I have to watch this movie. It's not fun. It's not an entertaining Friday film. There's nothing good about it. I hate it. Alright, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. You want to know what my favorite Friday film is? This is it. This film went for a different tone. It's more of a comedy. It knows what it is. Dumb as shit, focusing on the kills and the humor, breaking the fourth wall. This is basically if Deadpool did a Friday the 13th film. And it really succeeds in that category. It's a phenomenal Friday film. It's easily my favorite due to how badass the Jason is, how great the kills are, how great the writing is, the humor, the writing. And this is the only Friday the 13th movie ever to have kids under the teenage age be at the camp while Jason is there. Mind blown. I know it took them 6 movies to do it, but they did it finally. And, I actually love, the undead Jason in this movie. This is the movie that introduced undead Jason. And man, is he fucking. The first kill in this movie is fucking Jason punching out some guy's fucking heart and tossing his body in his old casket. I mean, goddamn. And all the kills are very much humorous. There's a kill where he snatches a girl through a window and you see her slippers fly off, to Jason folding some guy in half, while he's rising up like he's just gently folding a piece of paper. Really cool kills in this movie. Really great writing and humor. It's a Friday the 13th film I highly suggest everyone check out if they have a chance to watch it. Alright, Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. And you know what? Unpopular opinion. I'm putting it in A tier. I understand this is the most botched Friday the 13th film, but here's the thing. Since I own the Blu-ray, I got a chance to see how the movie would be like with the uncut kills, and it does make it better. But I did watch it without the uncut kills, and usually this movie would be like in C or D tier. But because of the concept of Jason versus Carrie, which was the original concept, but they couldn't get the rights to Carrie, from the studio that owned it, they've made a new protagonist that delves into the supernatural. So it's a supernatural being versus a supernatural being. She has supernatural powers. He's an undead fucking killing machine. And it's fun rewatching this movie because it does have good kills. Yes, they were botched by the MPAA because fuck those assholes. But the kills themselves aren't bad. What's bad is how bad they was butchered. There's a kill involving, a saw blade on a weed whacker, and that kill was great on its own. It didn't need to be cut because when they should have cut, it went to his stomach. You saw his guts a little bit, blood spurted out, and then it cut away quickly. The MPAA saw that as an X rating type thing, so it cuts to like Jason putting the thing to his stomach, and then it cuts to his face, in agony. And then that's it. We don't get to see any blood or gore, nothing. There's a kill where, there's supposed to be where Jason smushes this guy's face and then blood just shoots out everywhere. And the kill was just cut down. This movie is a great example of what happens when you let the MPAA boss you around. But because of how good the story is, and to me how cool the concept was of Carrie versus Jason, how well they did pull that off, the other only major complaint I will have is how I hate the third act. The ending. I love the third act battle between Jason and the final girl, but the ending of her dad coming out of the water like Jason and dragging Jason to the water was probably the most stupidest thing ever. But that doesn't really hinder my experience of watching Part 7. I actually really do enjoy Part 7, and it's easily an A tier. Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. Yep, no. Where do I begin? First off, Jason doesn't take Manhattan. He takes a boat to Manhattan. Most of the movie is him on a boat. A boat. There's nothing interesting about Part 8. Only thing that's good, too bad it's short, is when Jason's actually in Manhattan, which, by the way, if you watch the documentary Friday the 13th, the Crystal Lake Memories, which I highly suggest you watch, it's a fantastic documentary. Most of the movie didn't even take place in fucking Manhattan. Some scenes were filmed in New York, but most of it was filmed in Canada. So, some shots aren't even in New York. Yeah, really bums you out, don't it? And what's sad is that, due to budget restraints, which I get, they had this bigger idea of like Jason going to Madison Square Garden to the boxing ring. They had all these ideas to really bring Jason to New York. But due to budget restraints and all that, they couldn't do it, which really is a shame because imagine what they could have done. Which is just, they said all they needed was like a few more $1 million and they could have done it, but the studio wouldn't give it to them. But it really sucks. I would love them to redo New York. Jason Takes Manhattan. I would love to see them redo it and use the original script that the writers wrote and see how that would go. But other than that, man, it's just sad, man, to see a movie with such an interesting script be completely shat on because of budget restraints. It's really sad, and I feel really bad for the writers who really pour their heart out to that script. But it isn't really, that's not really the only problem. The other problems is, for one thing, the kills suck. The kills are garbage. And Jason, who is deformed as shit, gets hit with this toxic chemical, and you're thinking, oh, he's going to make him more mutant, right? It's going to make him more disgusting. No, no. It turns him into a little normal kid. He wasn't deformed. In fact, the toxin, the toxic liquid that hits him, and looks like it's melting his skin. It transforms him into a normal little boy with no defects. Because again, that totally fucking makes sense. It's just all around just not a fun movie to watch. The whole movie takes place on a boat, and it's not even that interesting. I wouldn't mind if it took place on a boat, but they made it really bland and boring. They try to give it, I don't know, unnecessary I can't say the word, stupidity. Unnecessary stupidity. We didn't need to see none of that in this movie. The only memorable kill there's two memorable kills in this movie. The guy getting his head punched off, which is, everyone knows that fucking kill, and the needle being jabbed into the dude's fucking back and coming out his stomach. That kill was fucking badass. Other than that, the movie fucking sucks. And I would rather watch it than the Friday the 13th New Beginning, but it's still fucking horrible. Alright, Jason Goes to Hell. So, if we're talking about theatrical cuts here, it would easily go in deep, but I want to talk about the director's cut, which is what I watched. And because of that, Jason Goes to Hell director's cut goes in C tier. I used to fucking hate this movie with a fucking passion. For one thing, it's not Jason. It's a parasite worm type thing that affects other people and they turn into Jason. Now that idea alone is something unique, and I get what the writers are trying to do. They wanted to do something new, and I've watched the documentary. They wanted to do something unique, not do the same thing over and over again. But in the process, they turned away Friday the 13th fans, me included. That was until I got the box set, which this is not in this tin can box set right now. It's on my shelf, but this comes with the director's cut of Jason Goes to Hell. And after watching it, I gotta say, the things they cut out shouldn't have been cut out. There is really good story beats that are in the director's cut that make more sense. It adds more to the lore than anything. And I personally do think they should have released it in its director's cut form in theaters because it's more fucking brutal. It has more story to it, and more things make sense. It's not a convoluted fucking mess. So here's how I want to rank this in terms of theatrical cut. Since not much people are gonna get access to the director's cut, it is gonna go in D tier. But if you do have the chance to watch the director's cut, it is a C tier Friday the 13th film. It's not the best, but it is much better than the theatrical cut. But since most people have access to the theatrical cut, fortunately, it will go in D tier. I'm so sorry, Jason Goes to Hell. Alright, Jason X. Now, I used to consider this one the worst until I recently rewatched it on Blu ray and I watched Crystal Lake Memories. And honestly, it's not as bad as I remember it. The kills are memorable. Well, not memorable. There's one kill that is a legendary fucking status. We all know what kill that is, right? It involves liquid nitrogen. But I think when I originally watched the movie, I'm like, oh god, why did they have to put Jason in fucking space? This is so stupid. But then I realized at this point they were just running out of ideas, and they were thinking anything could fucking work at this point. So they took a gamble, put Jason in space. Now fans are decisive. You either love the movie or you hate the movie. I'm in the minority. I'm in the middle. Jason X is just, I can watch it because it's so fucking dumb, but I know it's not a Good Friday film. If you want to watch a Good Friday film, these three up here, to me, these are Good Friday films. You know, B, A, and S tier, they're Good Friday films. These are just okay, and these are shit. It's just an okay flick. It's a guilty pleasure. I know it's fucking dog shit, but you know what? I do enjoy some fucking elements of the story. I do enjoy Uber Jason. I do enjoy Kane Hodder kicking ass. And yeah, I mean, I love the liquid nitrogen kill. It's in my top 10 kills of all time. I fucking love it. But in terms of a Friday film, it's fine. It's nothing to write home about. It's on a level of these three, but no, it comes nowhere near close to the uh, five over here. Now we get to the last one, which is the original film, Friday the 13th Part 1. I'm going to shock a lot of people. It's not going in A or S tier, it's going in B tier. Now, this one to me is the most chorish to watch, but the reason why it goes in B tier is because, for one thing, I love Betsy Palmer. as Pamela Voorhees. She was so damn good in this movie. This gave us Kevin Bacon. The kills, if you have the uncut version, are really good. The kills are absolutely amazing. They're very suspenseful. The movie really tries to do this whole suspense thing. And to me, if you want to watch the mystery type Friday film, don't watch part 5. Watch part 1 because this one does it way fucking better. Of course, this one doesn't involve Jason. This one just has Pamela Voorhees. This has awesome makeup by legendary makeup artist Tom Savini, who also did Part 4's makeup, which I forgot to mention. Fucking awesome makeup guy. Great effects guy. He does a good job. And honestly, the director, Sean Cunningham, admitted this was just a cash grab, but it's a decently made cash grab. I mean, it's not. It's a good cash grab. It's a Halloween ripoff, and it knows it. That's why, it made decent money because, after the success of Halloween, they were really going for this style of film. And once Friday the 13th came out, everyone started doing the style of film that Friday the 13th was doing. So people want to copying the style of both films, and I don't know, it's just, I put it in B. If I really had to be honest, I would put it in C tier. But because of how legendary it is and how it started this entire franchise, I can't just look the other way in terms of what it did to cinema, what it created its own genre, the slasher genre, and it's a genre that I love, my girlfriend loves. We both love the slasher genre with all our hearts. It's one of our favorites. We enjoy seeing dumb teenagers get fucking slaughtered for dumb decisions they made because, hey, why the fuck not, right? Because of this movie, we enjoy movies like Hatchet and fucking Maniac. You know, shit like that. Slumber Party Massacre and, you know, I think it's called Happy Birthday, one where the kids run rampant and kill their parents. Good movie. Sleepaway Camp, shit like that. Really, this movie turned us on to that. The first movie. When I was a kid, I watched the first Friday, and I immediately fell in love with slasher flicks. I remember getting Chopping Mall and all that shit, and watching Summer Party Massacre when I wasn't supposed to. Watching all these dumb but bloody as shit slasher films that I knew I shouldn't have been watching, but I watched. And because of Friday the 13th, I've always fell in love with the slasher genre. I want to make my own slasher film one day, and hopefully one day I can. So, this is my ranking of the Friday the 13th films. Now, even though all these films are absolute, no, the D and C tier may not be the best, I still watch them, except for this one. But these I can still watch, just not Part 5. Not saying these are all bad films. Even if they're bad, they have good elements to it. But except for Part 5, everything else I can watch, and I really do enjoy the Friday the 13th franchise, even though not a lot of them are up there at the top. I still enjoy them because I know what I'm getting to when I watch them. I'm not looking for Citizen Kane or Schindler's List. I'm looking for some dumb as shit fun. So this is my tier list of Friday the 13th films. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys later.